Find More Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
Our Mayodan update is sponsored by Airport Drive-In Restaurant, First Bank, and Robbie's Jewelry Shop. On the media line, we have Lessa Hopper, Mayodan Town Manager. Hey, Lessa, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great. I hope you are.
I'm doing fine, too.
Good.
Yep. We're
Everybody's staying well. I'm proud of that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
The last time I checked, and now I will admit I haven't checked in the last few days, but the last time I checked, 27027, 0 cases. Zero
Yes.
and 27027. So
I was just
keep
checking.
that streak going.
I was looking on your Facebook page just moments ago, and yep, it's still there. So, yeah, 0 there for COVID-19 cases. Yeah.
So, we just hope that stays that way.
Well, and really, we're looking at neighboring counties, and I'm sorry, we did have the 2 people that we lost there early in April,
Right.
but, looking at counties around us, we're still doing very well. I'm still very fortunate.
And we expect that number to increase simply because they are doing more testing.
That's
They're
right.
still not testing everybody, and they're not going to be able to test everybody that wants tested. But there is more testing going on, and so naturally your cases do increase. The good thing is that there has been a very low number that has been hospitalized. And as you said, it is very sad that we, in our county, we lost 2 people. However, our numbers are very low, and so we just hope that continues.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good indication that people are attempting to do their social distancing and doing the right thing. I mean, I hear complaints about lots of people in the stores, people are just doing their best. I mean, I've had to go to the grocery store, so I have been in the store, and when I've been there, people are doing their best to give you room and give you your space, and so I just hope people will continue to try to do that. I do want to talk just a little bit about possibly what the governor may come out at the end of the week or towards the end of the week and announce. When he went to Phase 1, that was on Friday, May 8th, and he said that the state of North Carolina would be in Phase 1 for 2 to 3 weeks, and it all depended on the numbers of new hospitalizations and the numbers of new hospitalizations and new deaths. It was not about the number of new cases, because he did know that would increase with more testing, but he said hospitalizations and deaths could affect whether we stay in Phase 1, revert back to a stay-at-home, or whether we could move on to Phase 2. So we are anxiously awaiting what he may say this week, because this Friday will be the second week. I think that he's possibly going to have a news conference on tomorrow. I don't know the time, but I think he's going to have a news conference tomorrow, and so we'll listen intently to see if he announces anything about that phase either ending or moving on, or what might happen Friday. And so if he does move to Phase 2, that will open up some additional businesses to inside and indoor businesses and services like salons, gyms, restaurants, bars, venues. If we do move to Phase 2, that would allow restaurants to open for indoor seating and it would probably be with a reduced capacity.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't know what that percentage would be, whether it would be 50% or 25%. And so, we'll anxiously await that. But I think Phase 2 also includes playgrounds can be reopened. So we are going to watch for that and try to put something out on our Facebook page and on our website if we do move to Phase 2, what that entails. The mayors for the county and all of the municipalities are hoping to do a public service announcement together once the governor has made his decision. If he makes a decision this week, then they will do a public service announcement together, we hope, to just give people an idea of what is allowed in Phase 2.
Yeah, okay.
So we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed for some good news and maybe some more businesses getting back to their services and businesses that I know that they so desperately need for their income and their families.
Yep, we miss them, that's for sure.
Right, and
well,
we do have a lot of local small businesses, homegrown businesses, and we want to see them succeed. We don't want to see bad things happen and come from this and for them. So I'm hoping that they can get back to some services and start reaping their rewards from having been so good through this and abiding by the executive's orders from the governor.
Yeah. Well, we'll know here by the end of the week for sure.
I do think that worshiping inside a building is also included in Phase 2. So, we'll watch for that, too.
Yeah. Well, in a lot of our churches around in western Rockingham County and other places, of course, doing those outside services and seem to be abiding by the rules there, so that's going well.
They are, and the Mayodan Town Council voted at their May meeting to allow an exception to our ordinance for loudspeakers so that the churches in town could conduct some outside services with a loudspeaker. They asked that the churches use a moderate level, nothing over the top, and to be mindful of their neighborhood where their church is located and their neighbors around their church. And we trust that those churches, will be able to conduct their services outside in a reasonable manner and not put anybody in harm's way and not to infringe too much on other people's beliefs or their time at home.
Yeah, just be respectful of the neighbors.
Just be respectful of their neighbors, and they'll do that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
But they did vote and allow that for an exception for approximately 3 weeks until some of this shakes out and we see where it's headed and what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. I just had a text a moment ago from our state Senate leader Phil Berger, and a story's coming out today here. He says the state budget shortfall due to coronavirus could be up to $4 billion, 16% of the budget, lost revenue, tourism, sales, and income taxes, and all of that. I know I'm hearing reports from some of the meetings, the municipalities around our county about loss of revenue. Do you have any projection, any idea what we're looking at for Mayodan?
We just don't know at this point, but we have all been advised that we should look at a shortfall of anywhere up to 25%. So I, and I'm sure the other managers and councils and commissioners and aldermen in this county are working very hard on a budget for the next fiscal year. We've got to have those in place in June, and so we're all anticipating a 20 to 25% loss of revenue, and so we are working on a budget based on that. I know in my budget we've had to cut out some equipment needs and things like that. We just will have to do with less and try to make it through this year just to see what is going to happen. Mayodan people have always been really good about paying their property taxes. We have an excellent rate of payment. We get complimented every year from Rockingham County that Mayodan people love to pay their taxes. They pay their taxes, and so we hope that continues this year. But we also know that there are some hardships, so we're going to try to be prepared for that. Right now, our water and sewer revenues are taking a hit because of the governor's executive order 124, which allowed for non-disconnection of unpaid balances for a certain period of time. Now, if the governor's executive order 124 should expire on May 31st, then we can go about collecting anything that was due prior to that order, which was March 31st. So we have many people in town that did not pay their March bill, and they've since gotten a bill that was due May 10th. So now they have two bills doubled up, and there will come a point in time when those March bills will have to be paid, or customers would face disconnection. Now the bills that came due May 10th, we are not able to disconnect those. We need to make a payment arrangement and they have up until December 1st on a payment arrangement of making payments on that bill that came due May 10th. And so we would urge people to call the office, come by the office, and make your payment arrangements for that second bill that came out. If they still owe on the first bill that came out March 10th, those will have to be paid. They're not involved in that executive order.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, we do have some loss of income there from not receiving payments from people that have two bills out that were due.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This sounds to me like a bookkeeping and payment nightmare.
This is this is a nightmare. I mean, we've had meetings, Zoom meetings, of course, but we've had Zoom meetings about our utility billing, and it's not just us. I mean, we're talking about electricity, gas, all of those utility payments. And I feel sorry for the places like Greensboro, Charlotte, who have tens of thousands of customers. We just have a little over 1,200. But how is it that you apply a late fee to a bill that comes due after a 60-day period without it attaching to the payment that came due during that? It's just a software nightmare.
Oh.
And we'll just ask to please allow us some patience as we work through this. We don't want to disconnect somebody for a payment that was due during this executive order. We're not allowed to, and we don't want to do that. We want to give them the option and allow them that opportunity to make those payments between now and December 1st. So yes, but it will be it's going to be more of a one-on-one, each account person talking to us and getting this worked out, because it's very tedious and very confusing.
Yeah, I understand.
A nightmare, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, good luck with all of that. Yeah. Okay.
But we are looking forward to possibly getting some restraints released, and maybe people can start getting back to some of the spring sports and, back out into some outdoor activities. That's very important to our kids. They want to play. They want to get out and play their sports. And so I hope that all works out where by the end of the month that they can be doing that.
Yeah. Well, I know the Madison Mayodan Recreation Department is registering now for summer day camp and getting, things in place for some teams and things.
And I know that there were a lot of registrations for spring sports, and I don't think that very many people have asked for a refund. I think they're still in hopes that they'll get those games in and get those sports in, and they can do it. If the governor does release like we anticipate by the end of the month, then we still have time to get some of that spring sports played. And I know our kids are just, chomping at the bit to get back to that. They haven't been in school, and so they just want to see their friends and get out and be involved and do their sports and things that they really care about. So
sure,
I really hope. And, of course, we all want to be safe. We'll have to do that in a safe manner. There will have to be some 6-foot distancing marking done and things like that. But we can all do that.
Sure.
We want to get out, so let's what we need to do to get out.
That's right. We'll do what we need to do. We will adjust. We'll make it happen. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
And I don't know, we still want to ask people. I realize that there's more people at home right now. Kids are home, but please be mindful of what you put in your recycling can. We only need recycling materials placed in that can, not regular garbage. No bagged garbage, no bags of any kind. And it really should just be aluminum cans, bottles, newspaper-type materials, and cardboard that goes into your recycle can.
And, I heard someone talking the other day, what about styrofoam? A lot of people doing takeout now.
No, none of that. None of that is recyclable.
None of that's recyclable.
Your household garbage.
No.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was
now,
telling
and
them.
pizza boxes, but there is a big misconception about pizza boxes. But pizza boxes are not allowed at the recycling center we send our recycling to, mainly due to the fact that most of the time they have food residue.
Sure.
Grease and food residue in them. And so, no, pizza boxes are not allowed.
Maybe you can do the top of the box, but not the round thing that the pizza was on. Yeah.
Well, I know that if the drivers see a pizza box, they're going to pass.
Oh, really? They just see the box itself. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Because it does contaminate it, and if we take contaminated materials to our center.